Shaolin, in the heart of China, is the cradle of Zen Buddhism. It is also the monastery where Kung Fu began. Emperor Xiu Yin of the Wei dynasty built this temple 15 centuries ago to welcome the first monks arriving in China from India to teach Buddhism. Since he was 11, Shi De Yang has dedicated his life to Zen Buddhism, or Chan in Chinese. For De Yang, life is only a stage between birth and death. As a consequence of acts performed during his time on Earth, he will be reborn either as a man or as an animal. Buddha found a way to break the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, which has continued since time began. He achieved enlightenment and at last experienced absence of pain, beatitude in destruction, nirvana. Shi De Yang is following this path. He wants to reach enlightenment, which in time will permit him to become Buddha, to become pure spirit. The monks follow the teachings of Buddha in the sutras. The legend explains that these scriptures brought from India by a monk were swallowed by a fish during the journey, so the chants are accompanied by the rhythm of the muyu, an instrument shaped like a fish. The Indian monk Bodhidharma reached Shaolin in the year 527. He caught the imagination of the Chinese by spending 9 years meditating, facing the wall of a cave. His shadow imprinted itself in this rock, reverently preserved in the temple. He brought Zen Buddhism to Shaolin. The Zen school teaches its disciples the techniques of meditation and introspection to prepare them for enlightenment, which everyone can experience. It can happen like a burst of light. Zen awakens spiritual wisdom through mastery of the body, honed by long periods of meditation. Kung Fu evolved from exercises used to reawaken the body from its dormant state. Zen makes the body soft as silk, as light as a feather, as supple as forged steel. Shaolin combines the Indian techniques of yoga with Chinese Taoist exercises. These movements produce suppleness and good health by harmonizing the breath and the flow of energy in the body. Taoism lends fluidity and economy to the body's movements, allowing the monks to remain physically active to an advanced age. Exercises are always followed by long periods of meditation in the outdoors. By making contact with the earth, man draws energy in its purest form, the Qi, which gives him the strength to pass from meditation to action.
上林罗汉排大功，开始，走！那两个打呀打得很的，你要用这个摆腿，要摆平，记住没有？要用脚摆，一定要摆直，蹬直，开始打。
Susi is the temple elder and the oldest master. He continues to pass on his teachings. His life work is a collection of sacred Shaolin texts. The old manuscript had to be rewritten after its destruction in 1928 during a fire caused by local warlords.
大红包桶，咱们火大这种过来就上去，搬住这胡同，搬上胡同的时候，搬住手口住在牙关，
搬入那个老
胡同，手口住在牙关，
手扣住牙关，
牙关给它扭过去，
牙关就是一扭，扭过去，
给它头扭过去，
哦，好，小价值意思也就是说。 可是我现在往往有犯个啥毛病呢？价值好犯这个变大的方向性错误。这是讲的是咋样才能很好的纠正呢？
纠正那得下手那得捏，那不捏下手捏，比如说小阳属人，他说小身子，越数越小，身子上身子要伸直。
咱做个这个。 少的是这个马步，我往往有的时候站不稳，你看这样，啊，
站不稳，脚要往里勾，脚往里勾，腿要放平，身子往这再做，脚步站有点大，再小一点，
再小一点，
The Indian sage Bodhidharma is regarded as the first Shaolin master. To this day, his teachings are passed on from master to pupil. Susi, the elder, represents the 30th generation of masters. He survived the Cultural Revolution and re-established Shaolin monks and their traditions.
穿个大褂吧。
你看你这个大人，没有谁。
我们出家人啊，就是如同这个父子关系一样，就是相当于社会上那个爸爸和儿子。在我们中国有一句俗话嘛，叫做“师徒如父子”，就是从我们这个出家的这个感情就说明我们这个 师傅和徒弟之间的这个亲密感情。教主释迦牟尼流传法纪。
Buddha believes that humans and animals have the same origins. A human can be the reincarnation of an animal and vice versa. From this belief come the Shaolin fighting styles that mimic animals. These styles are based on religious introspection and the observation of animals themselves. The eagle technique mimics an eagle swooping on his prey. To scare an opponent, you must use the style of the serpent. This technique exploits the opponent's weak points by making treacherous attacks. In every foreseeable situation, the fighting monk should use an animal fighting style when attacking and mimic its postures and defensive tactics to ward off an opponent's attack. These fighting styles are described in the monk's manuscripts, just like the teaching of Buddha. The defensive and offensive positions of the monkey style are meant to surprise and disorient an enemy. Shaolin was once surrounded by forests, and monks could observe the wild animals in their own environment. Shaolin's isolated mountain location made it the perfect target for looters and invaders. At first, the monks had only their bare hands and heavy prayer beads to defend themselves.
罗汉佛珠供，这个佛珠供，平常看作是我们出家人念经用的佛珠，但是在这个念经之余，身体困倦的时候，可以用来锻炼身体。
Shaolin is strategically situated on the slopes of Mount Shoshen, dominating the fertile plains of the Yellow River. In neighboring villages, physical training is a regular part of country life. This is the origin of Tai Chi, which prepares an entire population for combat. For centuries, Shaolin was at the center of all China's civil wars. Because of its religious tolerance, it became a haven for defeated soldiers and banished officers. These refugees taught their military skill to the monks in exchange for knowledge of martial arts. For some disciples, Shaolin was simply a traditional military organization. For others, it was a secret society. Discipline enabled these men to survive all the wars. During the Cultural Revolution, Shaolin was forgotten and its masters scattered. Today, 60 monks are ready to make any sacrifice to protect their temple. In the 7th century, Shaolin masters saved the Chinese emperor. The temple walls tell the story. In Shaolin, 13 monks trained in great secrecy to save Li Xiaomin, emperor of the Tang dynasty. On these flagstones, worn from centuries of use, their distant descendants repeat the same movements. They come to absorb the spirituality of this place. At Shaolin, two extremes coexist. Meditation as calm as water, and violent action like raging fire. Wind, rain or snow, the monks rise at 4 in the morning. The day always begins the same way, with meditation. At daybreak, monks gather in the forest of the pagodas, where all the masters since the founding of the temple are buried. The first exercises warm up and awaken the body to give it sensitivity and suppleness before the action begins. To know the secrets of the monastery, we must share the monks' daily routine. By their own admission, their secret lies in 3 rules: rise early, go to bed late, work and more work. Kung Fu draws its power from the Qi, the inner energy. Qigong is the training method that draws on this energy to forge a hard shell against pain. Qigong frees them from pain inflicted by the adversary, leaving the mind clear to think and thus to win. Meditation under great difficulty trains the fighter to transcend pain and prepare his next move. According to the ancients, Qigong breathing exercises not only encased the vital organs in a type of armor, but rendered them impervious to wounds. Before the invention of firearms, these men were invincible.
坐。黑的好，黑的好，字了黑的字。
Zen Buddhism blends action and meditation. It can be spontaneous and also deliberately provocative. This suits the down-to-earth Chinese temperament. In a secret place, in the only part of the original monastery still standing, Shi De Yang receives training from Suyun. His skills are unique, as he is the only master of the 30th generation still capable of physical activity. Even at the age of 82, he rises at 2 in the morning to maintain his suppleness and to meditate.
武不练的，因为这武老啊，这身体又不好，身体有病治不好，也不练。但是这个坐禅呢，也是一种功啊，它属于是静功，传统梦这属于动功。
Zen is performed without elaborate trappings or a place of worship. It needs only direct intuition arising from meditation. Zen has transformed the original Indian Buddhism into a ritual adapted to the practical Chinese sensibility. Every follower must aim at forgetting the constraints of the physical world to achieve enlightenment.
就这个脑筋，他往往对这个中国这个禅不会了解。其实这个禅是很普通、很平常的。这个禅就是在我们这个生活中可以说是无处不现的。你比方说我们吃饭，行住坐卧。
That is why physical training continues during meals. The horseman position recalls the time when early masters fought on horseback to maintain order in the empire. It's a position to test the novice's endurance. In the same spirit, the rule is to pay homage to the master by serving him from the Shaolin teapot. It weighs 50 kilos, empty. The teachings and the temple journal are written in calligraphy. The calligrapher is the only master to come in from outside. Within the monastery, there are only two arts, meditation and combat. One of the fundamentals of Zen is the art of provocation in words or gesture to transcend oneself and confront others, like the feats of this novice. The Kung Fu chants also help to absorb the spirit of Shaolin. The Spartan life of the fighting monks demands rigorous and advanced training. At about 10, children have their heads shaved, a sign of their lifetime commitment. Most of the novices come from poor rural backgrounds, some from the monks' own families. Intensive training to harden the body precedes religious instruction. The young novices quickly learn to fight in the monkey style.
你想我们这寺院一共有4个秘密练功场，这4个秘密练功场，一般人是根本走不到那个地方，即使是走到那个地方，他们也不知道那是秘密练功场。
In order to control their bodies, the monks withdraw to a private place to harden themselves against pain, the iron shirt. This protection is earned only by fierce effort. The will becomes central because the purpose of Zen is to allow anyone direct, intuitive understanding of his true nature. Students of martial arts refer to intense Shaolin Qigong, a technique of self-transcendence. It requires several years of training, a minimum of 3 to 4 hours per day. At that rate, the head can become an anvil and the arms hammers. The monks train as they did in the Middle Ages, either out in nature or in the monastery. Exercises like hanging require 3 years of effort. This mixture of perseverance and provocativeness gives Shaolin martial arts its unique aspect, both troubling and spectacular. When it was established, the monastery was a haven for the first Buddhists and for a throng of persecuted peasants. It became a meeting place for everyone seeking truth or refuge. In the 8th century, monks selected a reforming master, Huang Nung. Once an illiterate butcher's assistant, he entered the order after hearing a sutra recited by a monk. He finally became the 6th Zen patriarch. Following the rescue of Emperor Li Shamin, an army was established in the monastery. The monks became experts in knife fighting and in other more secret, highly efficient methods. The best known is the nunchucker, which was developed from the peasant's flail.
准备的是往上扔，你扔之前一两个动作，嗨，你喊一声，知道吧？你喊一声，我都提醒他注意看你那个空中的啊。比方说你这是往上这准备走了哈，这准备往上来了嘛，你那一说，嗨，你那喊一声，我都给他说，往上。 走。
These fighting techniques and weapons have inspired a new film genre. When Shi De Yang visits the Shaolin villages, he is careful to answer their questions, especially those regarding the differences between his monastery and others.
也就是说，听说哈，在那个唐朝时候，少林寺的13棍僧曾经救过李世民。听说当时这个李世民曾经准许，当时的少林寺和尚，吃肉喝酒，头脑发昏也就不行了。你比方说啊。哦。你看啊，我给你演示一遍，你看看啊。比方说这开始，一手。
The efficiency of this fighting style made highway robbers fear the monks' drunkenness. In fact, Shaolin monks drink very little alcohol. Even during rest periods, monks force themselves into difficult positions. At Shaolin, traditional medical practices can quickly put sick or wounded monks back on their feet. Their effectiveness comes from a profound knowledge of plants. Master De Yang has devoted his life to these remedies.
然后呢，把这个给它肉给它敲开，敲开。
啊，要把它，在这里，
哎，就是用这里边那个壶，哎，用这个， 用这个，
用它，
哎，用这个，
啊，
用这个壶啊，
嗯，
操半数，
操半数，
操一操啊，这个一喝，这个脑子就清晰了。
以后，
哎，
脑子就不再
混了，
就可以清晰了。
另外就是说心跳，心慌，将这个一吃，心里就。这个药呢，主要是用这个前草，特别是根儿啊。前草要用的时间把它这样挖开，哎，这样挖开。哦，哎，这样挖开。
它这个根儿能起什么作用？
哎，这个根儿啊，把它个洗干净以后，然后用刀把这个都给它去掉，然后把它洗干净以后，那个刀切片切成片以后，比如说晚上喝，明天就好；上午喝，下午中就消了。
哎呀，有那么大的神奇效果！
这是喝，另外呢还可以把它将这个药水可以洗，药水来洗一洗。还可以把它碾成面。
那你说它有这么好的效果，这个那我得放着，我得拿回去放着，将来留着用。
哎，这是德禅法师给我传的一个秘方。
好，那我这得放着，将来有用的话好用。
The remedies are secret. They are only passed on from master to pupil. Accidents occur frequently during training. There are special prescriptions which outsiders find incomprehensible.
Ah. 行了，好了，起来走走试试看看。走。
Reaching the pinnacle of their art, some monks may decide to leave the monastery to teach on the outside. They must pass through the mountain door. These departures are rare, as the monastery is not anxious to spread its knowledge. This ritual is a recreation of a tradition that existed during the temple's days of glory.
如果明天有一场战争的话，你是不是会参加这场战争去，比方说杀人呐？
现在这个战争不需要我去参加战斗了，我需要的是天下太平。
Today, Shaolin is on the pilgrim's trail for all martial arts masters, religious or not. They come in search of the Shaolin spirit, like this old Kung Fu master.
听说他这个武术学校是最大的一所武术学校，哎，最大的，最大的。你看咱们这里在这个地方啊，这个学校现在有3、4千人啊，4000多人，可以说是在咱的中国来讲，民办的武术学校。
About 20 martial arts schools with secular masters have become established around the monastery. They train 20,000 youths a year in Kung Fu Wushu, which includes traditional unarmed fighting styles and knife fighting. Shi De Yang himself trains the children of his village.
挺好，立起来，腿抬起来，全都放在这里，啊，3、4、1、2、3。
For today, secular masters of the Kung Fu Training Center in Shaolin are dressed like monks. They've taken over from the monks and organized classes and demonstrations. This is a lucrative exploitation of the Shaolin myth by the Chinese administration. After the dark years of the Cultural Revolution, the Chinese authorities have finally acknowledged that Shaolin is part of Chinese history. This year, all the monks have assembled in this stadium for a solemn celebration of the 15 centuries of the tradition of Shaolin.